Good evening, everybody. And today I will be showcasing my model of the brain. Before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Grant Katukwana. And today, as I said in the beginning, I'm going to be presenting my model of the brain. It's a cross section, so don't judge me too harshly. Here we go. Let me get it. It's not bad. It's not bad. I tried my best. But it could be better. It could be better. Oh, now things are falling off it. But the brain is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So what I did when I formulated this model, I used clay. But before I could use the clay and to make it look like this, the final piece, you see there's a missing piece there that fell. It's the clay. I think it's drying up. So before I could do all this for the final product, what I did was I drew the shape. You see this little part, stemmy part. I'm just gonna call it the stem, And then I drew first, and then I decided, okay, well, before the decision, while I was drawing, I tried to make patterns inside the brain that showed that it's the brain before I put the clay. Then I failed dismally. So I decided to put clay dots, say like this. That's how it ended up like this. And while I was creating this, should I call it a masterpiece? I would love to call it a masterpiece. I learned 3 very important aspects, and those aspects are that there's increased activation in your brain, and your analytical abilities are more, let me say, heightened. You when you're trying to draw the perfect figure, on the drawing, before I put the clay, when I was trying to perfect every single detail, I was analytical. And another thing is that it's stimulating. It stimulates many ideas. You come up with many different ideas as you go through all that you need to when drawing such a figure or creating such a figure. And that is something that I never expected to discover while I was going through it. And it's quite interesting. And I have 2 questions though, about the brain. I have 2 questions. Why is it that once the brain is dead, there is no way to resuscitate it? I've always asked myself that question, and I've always been curious about that. And the other question is, why is the brain in such a very vulnerable position on our bodies? Because the head is very vulnerable. If the head is hit in any way that affects the brain, it's over. So I want to understand, why is the brain in such a very, 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 very complicated place? I want to understand that, but I guess someday we will understand why it's like that. And one aspect I found very interesting, I think that can help me with my mental growth, is the brain is continuously evolving. It is continuously evolving. What I did while creating this figure, it's stored in my mind, and it can assist me in reaching other planes of knowledge or greater heights of knowledge, So I find it very interesting that the brain continues to develop as you go. And I think it was because not only because of that, it just made me realize that the more experience you have doing different things that are mind expanding or that trigger some sort of creative response in your mind, the more you evolve. And it can be whether creative wise, whether while reading. It's something that I found very interesting. Your mind continues to evolve. It continues to evolve, and I think that is good. That is good for everybody. So we should engage in many things like this, so we can evolve, so you can expand your mind. Could be mostly well, the educational stuff is what expands your mind. So yeah, that's what I'd like to say. But yeah, that's all from me today. My model of the brain. It's very cute. I love it. I mean, look. How do I put it? So it's like this. So yeah. See you next time. Bye bye.